What is up? My name is Garrett Yogurt on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Now Annotation YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. Today we are talking about Baby No Money, Recess, the very first album from him from 2019, in 2019, if you will. This guy is somebody who I've been following since around 2017. I think the first song I heard from him was a song called Litmus. And ever since then, and I heard that iconic ass flow, in my opinion, I was sold, I was ready, I was just on board to see whatever the fuck was going to be happening next. And with a project late last year by the name of Baby Steps, a couple of collab tapes, or just one collab tape, I believe, from him and Young Gravy, but multiple songs on SoundCloud from him and Young Gravy prior to that. But there's one definitive album called Baby Gravy, if you want to go check that out. But everything this guy has done has really just been super impressive. The song with Graves made the top 25 music videos of 2018 on this very channel. There's just a lot going on with what he does that I have so much respect for. He's nothing to fucking sneeze at, and I've always told my friends that he has my favorite flow, period, right now. And I know that's kind of a crazy statement to make, but when you come out in a scene around 2016, if you will, or 2015, when the word mumble rap was getting thrown around just to label anybody who wasn't traditionally lyrical. And then you have this guy kind of just pop up out of nowhere and literally take the literal meaning of the words mumble and rap and apply them to this flow that is just so bombastically just impressive. The way that he's able to have so much patience with the cadence and just formulate the breaths and the words, and it just... He's able to say things in ways that other people don't get to because they don't know how to flow like this. And I've never heard anyone try to even steal this shit. I just think it's super impressive every single time. And I think this project is the very first time that we're seeing this type of flow, this type of artistry, everything that Baby No Money stands for, the bombasticness of it. I think that is the perfect word to describe what this guy makes. This is the best project to kind of showcase all of that. And I just feel like for somebody whose last album was called Baby Steps, I definitely hear a lot of great leaps of progression on this very album. And he's not shy of ever acknowledging the fact that the collaborations that he makes with the producers, with the people that he raps with, definitely lift the sound. And what I always respect about him is every project and every single song that I've ever see him put out, he puts the producers in there in the same line as the artist. And I don't know if that's him on the back end, maybe helping out his friends, because mostly he collaborates with his friends. I don't know if that's just helping them out on the back end, which is the biggest homie move and undeniably awesome, or it's him also acknowledging the fact that the production on all of these beat selections and just all these songs that he makes, a lot of the brilliance does start with the beat, but it's a lot of style of beats, and just we'll get into the exact type of shit that I'm talking about. But a lot of the stuff that he tackles, I don't know if anyone else with that, unless you have this very specific iconic ass flow, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you're going to go about it in the way that he does. And I just respect the fact that he does throw them in there as the artist, in the artist line, as well as the features. It's just a cool way of just acknowledging that this is all a collaborative effort. And you can even see that through the cover art. Let's get into the track listing real quick. But before we do that, I do want to shout out who produced and who collaborated on this thing. It features a couple specific features from Trippy the Kid, Swerve Z, Conrad and Old Money, or Conrad Old Money, and Hollow. No, Hollow's the producer, but yeah, Lewis Grant's also on there. But you got Lentro, Y2K, Downtime. I think even Baby No Money himself produces one of the tracks, but there's a lot of cool ass production going on. But to get into the track list more specifically, you got track number 1, Jurassic, featuring Trippy the Kid. Track number 2 is Banana. Track number 3 is Stucco. Track number 4 is Doubles, featuring Swerve Z. Track number 5 is Rudu. Track number 6 is Bunk, featuring Swerve Z. Track number 7 is Nursery. Track number 8 is Shining. Track number 9 is Chess. Track number 10 is 7, featuring Trippy the Kid. Track number 11, to close it out, is Thankful, featuring Lewis Grant. A lot of this is him talking about just coming into the fact that he has more money than he probably ever expected to have, and how that's kind of just like a play on words of his very name, Baby No Money. Now all of a sudden has money. The success of being independent, staying independent, the struggles of being independent and staying independent. There's a lot of stuff that he does talk about, but the depth of this thing is not really what you're going for. If like that's not why you're gonna stay here and listen to this album, in my opinion. While there is a lot more depth on this, and I felt come across even on something that was trying to be nostalgic like Baby Steps on his last project. This thing definitely just provides a level of atmosphere that just is brilliant in my opinion. This is what I want from like rap. This is how I like to see the sound progress. I don't know if I've seen so much creativity from a single project. I don't mean just this year, but just in general. There's a lot on here that is, again, a collaborative effort, whether it's Y2K or Lentra or Downtime on the beats. It's still just super fucking cool to see him like produce this sound that is very consistent and in this bombastic lane that is very creative and Baby No Money in nature, if you will. But there's a really, really different way that this album could have played out that is just corny, does not work, and is just a big swing and a miss. And I never really felt that except for on a few songs where I again, like the way that he does rap and the way that he does formulate his lyrics and the way that he does flow, and the samples sometimes they can go a little bit over the top and kind of just hit you on the head of just like reference on reference, and it can be like a little like lofty and just kind of full of nothing. But on this, I never really felt that, like, and that's what I mean with the whole depth thing. Like, you're not coming into this to really like get an autobiographical take on Baby No Money, and that's not what you really want if you like have heard his music before. Maybe in the future when he does go a little bit like super creative and definitely pulls out this crazy like experimental album, and a lot of his albums are experimental. This is definitely crazy and out there. Like, nothing sounds like this, and that's such a plus side. But again, you're not really getting any like introspective looks at anything other than the fact that he's here and he's dealing with it and he's gonna ride with it. And that's such a cool message to see. Just have fun. Like, the music is fun, and it sometimes doesn't need to be more than that. And that message alone comes across really fucking well. Standout tracks for me, 100% Rudu, Bunk, Nursery, and Shining. Those tracks from track 5 to track 8, those 4 tracks just play so fucking well together. That's my favorite shit ever, starting from Rudu to Bunk to Nursery to Shining. Rudu has the coolest like which is literally the title of the track. That's on loop the whole time. Other rappers would maybe put that in the hook and then, mute it out while they're rapping. Like, he's able to fit the words in and have it be so goddamn catchy. And that's the thing I want to applaud him on, is how goddamn catchy he is on this damn album. Like, some of his hooks always have this super cool finesse. He's using that mumbly flow with like this super sick cadence to like kind of fill in like certain air pockets, and like, again, like, he's playing with it. I've always heard him kind of present the flow in different ways on hooks, but all these are presented differently and creatively, but they're all equally catchy. And that's like the key to honestly making his music like pop. And this album does a great job of that. This is honestly, again, my favorite Baby No Money project, period. This is the one that I will recommend to friends. But if it's not something that like people are looking for as far as just like it's too crazy, I could see this being a giant negative. But Rudu, Bunk, Nursery has this really sick switch up like of flow. Like, I think he switches his flow probably like 5 times, but there's a part where the beat switches up completely and it's like a fucking like house fucking DJ set all of a sudden. And it's just, he doesn't fumble. Like, he just keeps going and just doesn't stop, and it's just the sickest fucking thing ever. Shining's really catchy. That's a lead single along with Jurassic. Trippy the Kid's on here twice. I really appreciated his raps. I'm a big fan of him. There's a recent music video reaction on this channel that you could go check out. The song 7's really good. That's a track 10 that Trippy's on as well. Track number 11 to close it out is Thankful, and this is like the only time where I was like, wait a second, if you are looking for some introspective shit, this is where that is. And it comes at the very end. It kind of just like feels like it's tagged on to a different album of 10 tracks, and this was like maybe like a message to the fans, maybe like a taste tester to see like, hey, do you want this from me? Is this a sound that you would like? And a lot of it is carried from Lewis Grant's vocals, but I would be foolish to not acknowledge the ability of like Y2K to make this really like cloudy beat. But Baby No Money is honestly like fucking singing a lot too, though. Like, he's singing a damn lot. And honestly, I'm gonna shut up right now because I thought that intro in the whole track wasn't Baby No Money, but reading that right now, he's singing this whole chorus and hook and everything. So wow, Yes, I would love to see more of that from you, because like that was super impressive actually. Shout out to Baby No Money for doing that track. That track was in my standout tracks, just not in the same reasons that the other 4 were. This one just stands out, but knowing that he's actually on those vocals, and there were moments where I thought he was doing like additional stuff, but I didn't know that was all him. That's impressive as hell, just considering the juxtaposition that serves of the rest of the album. So, wow. Yeah. Shout out to Thankful at the very end with him, Y2K, and Lewis Grant. That shit is really fucking good. But again, this album is just so much fun. Most definitely one of my favorite albums of the month. If not my favorite album of the month. You'll have to stay tuned and check out a video series that's coming to you by Friday. But yeah, this album is just really good. Like it again doesn't say too much as far as like making statements, but it definitely has a lot to offer as far as just this cool progression of the Baby No Money sound. And this is exactly how I want it to be. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like when you see someone on the SoundCloud ages and you see someone start to kind of blow up in like a smaller scale, and then you see them like just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, you always worry when you get to the project stage. And that's like where it sucked, where like Baby Steps was something I was super excited for, but I'll be honest, it didn't live up to my expectations, whether or not that was me overcompensating or over expecting or not. But this hit me right in the face, did exactly what I wanted, and he presented it in a really classy way, promoting his friends and everything. So this shit's awesome. Can't recommend it enough. What did you think of this album? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning into these videos. I appreciate all the support on these. Follow me on Twitter at YoGarrett, YoGRTT, Instagram as well. Now Station on those 2 platforms as well. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, and that is all, folks.